Okay, this is the method I prefer when installing a package of bees. You have your brood chamber, which is a deep, on the bottom, and I remove one frame because that's where you're going to put your queen. Now, the package comes like this with a can of syrup and the queen hanging. There'll be a tag at the top. So the first thing you do is I remove the syrup, and it usually just pulls up, and I'll put that in between these frames. Now you've got a whole bunch of bees in here going crazy. So what I do is I take a deep, empty deep, and I set it over the top of this other hive body. So now the bees are still like this. You pull the queen out. Now I'm going to remove this hive body so you can see what's going on. So I'll move this over to this end. So you take the queen, and it has to hang from a frame in there, and she has to be in her queen cage for 4 to 5 days until she gets used to, or the bees get used to her. So I put this empty hive body on with the package in it open, and I just put a lid on it, and then I come back the next day. The next day, every time I've done this, there's been no bees in the package anymore. They all left, and they all moved into the lower hive body. So then you remove that lower hive body, and you can leave that hive body in and leave the food in, but what I like to do is take a frame for hive body. I take a super that has at least 2 frames of honey in it, and I put that on top. So that's what's feeding the bees instead of the syrup. Or you could just feed them however you normally feed them. But I like using the frames full of honey to feed them. Then after 5 days, 4 or 5 days, now that's 4 or 5 days from when the bees, or the queen, was put in the package. So it might be 2 or 3 days before you get the package, so that counts. So after the amount of time that the queen has been with the bees, is I pull the staple out, open it up, and let the queen walk out. Sometimes these queen cages have a candy plug in the end that will, the bees will release the queen through that candy plug. Sometimes not. This one just has a cork in it, so there's no way the queen would ever get out without you letting her out. Now, the reason you have to let the queen acclimate is that the package is made by taking a queen that they've raised, and they usually put them in a queen castle, so they have a whole bunch of queens ready, and they'll go and put this queen in the package. Like so. So queen's in the package. Then they take the package over to a big funnel, and it's under the funnel and on a scale. And then they go get bees from another hive, and they'll just start shaking. It could be multiple hives. They'll just start shaking them into the package until they get 3 or 4 pounds, however many bees you're buying. Those bees do not know that queen. So they would initially kill her right away because they still have the pheromones from their queen. So that's why you have to let the queen, the new queen's pheromones, get into the new bees so they don't kill her when you release her.